New York, and it got to be a point where it was great that I was relieved, because my grandmother finally passed away. And I love my grandmother, 90 years old, you know, God rest her soul, but she was living forever. You know, this woman was not going anywhere. And it was funny because I told my friend, she said, what happened? I said, well, I went to the house, she had her funeral clothes laid out. They said, oh, that's so sad. You mean she knew it was coming? I said, no, we're Sicilian. She was planning her death since 1972. You know what I mean? It's like, she finally made it! You know what I mean? She used to take me to the house and show me the gold, fat, tasseled furniture and like the mermaids with the rhinestone nipples and the plastic fruit and the 4,000 crucifixes and say, Maija, when I die, I'm going to leave you all of this. And I'd be like, Grandma, may you live forever, because nobody wants any of this crap, you know? And it was, and then she died, and then she left me about 400 romy-eyed bleeding Jesuses, which is kind of unnerving. I don't care if you're Jewish, it is impossible to throw away a bleeding Jesus. I had like a few in the garbage. I'm walking away trying to pack these boxes. I look up. Why have you forsaken me? I'm like, all right, I'll take you out. And my guilt. Ended up packing them in a box as I moved to Los Angeles, 3,000 miles, with a box of Jesuses. And like, thank God I had Mexican neighbors, because they made for great Christmas gifts. You know? I was able to unload them. I was like so chic. But my grandparents, they were very old country. You know, they're so old world. Like, they didn't speak really any English. The only thing I could make out when my grandfather would tell me stories is that in every story someone was missing a limb. That's pretty much the only, you know, his accent was, Maija, I go to Rome and I tell the guy, I'm a Giuseppe DiGorgio. The guy says, who? I said, Giuseppe. Your cousin Gino sent me. Because Gino who misses the ear? No. Gino who misses the leg. He's friends with my father, Melchuro. I don't know Melchuro. Sure, Melchuro, the butcher who missed 3 fingers. He gave your cousin a salami to put in the leg so he could walk home. I says, now I remember you, Giuseppe, the kid who missed the eye. Son of the butcher who missed the finger who gave my cousin the salami to put in the leg so he could walk home. Why didn't you say so? We go inside the restaurant, Maija, and he tell the story, what my father do for the guy, and a tear come into my one eye. And that's my grandfather. They were forcing us to be Italian as possible, too. They were obsessed with us being Italian. Every time I would walk in the house, I was a kid, I just wanted a simple chocolate chip cookie, just like Cookie Monster. You know, you wanted chocolate. No, this is a bad. Eat this. It's a pignoli. So what's pignoli? It's come si chiama? Pine nuts. Pine, like pine sol, pine nuts. Do you know what I'm saying? What are you trying to kill me? No, it's a girl. It has amaretto in it. I'm 7. What am I, Drew Barrymore? You know, she was determined. She came back the next day with the chocolate chips, but on some fluffy stuff. I was like, oh, thank God, chocolate chip ice cream. I'm like, what the hell is this? It's a ricotta. It's a cannoli. What's ricotta? Ricotta cheese and chips. This. They were obsessed. They wanted us to be the Italian grandkids because they only had me and my sister. You know, they wanted us to be so Italian because my mother wasn't Italian. And they hated on my mother so much for not being Italian, my mother actually never told us what we were. Could you believe that? Well, Sicilians are tough, you know, so when they're intimidating, they are intimidating. My mother was yellow, with freckles. And she had the kind of hair that if she scratched her head, you could hear it from across the room. And we used to ask my mother all the time, like, Mom, what are we? She'd say, why? Who wants to know? If I said, well, you know, you gotta give me something. The kids at school, they need to. She's like, you tell them you're everything. I was like, well, I told them that. That's why I have a black eye. That wasn't working. So you know what? You tell them you're Italian and you're French, Creole. And if they don't know what Creole is, tell them to look it up. And I looked it up, and it said to be prepared with green peppers, mushrooms, tomatoes. This went on until I was 14. My mom dies, and all these black folks show up at the funeral. Now the Italians are like, why? Is it over? Why is a cleaning crew here? But hey, out of fairness, the Italians didn't say that because they were racist. That would be an unfair stereotype. They said it because those black folks showed up 2 hours late. Now we're at the funeral. This woman who looks just like my mother, 4'11", both ways, but kind of looked like my mother if she had been born a brown blueberry, walks over and says, your mother never told you you were black. And that messed me up. Years later, I went to a therapist, a white therapist. She was like, this must have been so awful. This woman comes out of nowhere. So your mother never told you you were black. So it wasn't like you clenched teeth like that. She's a black woman. She was like, my sister's baby. Your mother never told told you were black. That's how I got it. And at that moment, my life made a lot of sense. I was like, wow, that's why I know how to throw a ball like a guy and I'm not a lesbian, you know? My nightly hair struggles, my fear of white policemen. You know, when those white boys would beat me down in the schoolyard, why I keep jumping back up yelling, bring it! Do you know what I'm saying? My uncontrollable urge to drive an unregistered vehicle on an expired driver's license. And I think, you know, and this is one of the things that kills me. You hear people all the time now, you turn the news, and I was like, does racism exist? I was like, no, everybody told me to, you know, to not tell me what I was. And that kind of screws you up. I ended up joining a support group for mixed kids like me. And everyone's like, you guys think you're so special. Mixed kids have been on this continent ever since black folks showed up here. We're just the first generation whose white parents claimed us, which did screw us up. I joined a support group for black people that look like me. Guy there half Jewish, half black, Tyrone Bergenstein. Lives in the projects, but he owns a building. Another girl, half Korean, half black, Youngsuk, Washington. Bought a Korean market, follows herself around the store. Half Mexican, half Jamaican. Rolls a burrito like this. That's my time, guys. Thanks.